Welcome to The Reliables, a live stream series here on the Zombie Orpheus Entertainment channel on Twitch, brought to you in partnership with Pinnacle Entertainment Group, the makers of the Savage Worlds game system. I am your host and GM, James Durham. The Reliables is an interactive Savage Worlds tabletop RPG show where you, our audience, have a direct impact on the story and the events of the show. We're going to go to Christian Doyle here, who's going to go over our available store today and tell you a little bit about it. Christian?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad that I could be here. So we've got a great store today. I'm pretty excited because it's our very first episode using avatars, metaverse style. So we've got a couple things in the store that should be fun for that. Of course, for $5, you can get the shout out, which is available if you just want to say hello to the cast here on stream. You can do that with the fancy computer voice. For $15, you can do a personality disorder. What that does is it moves any one of the characters from closer to their avatar to closer to their pilot, which we will explain more very, very soon. But it's a way for you to kind of affect how the players act, which is always a lot of fun. Friends with Benefits does what it always does. It gives you bennies. It gives bennies in a pool that the cast can share amongst themselves and use, which is going to be especially important for the next few episodes because we use those bennies not only to fuel a lot of the things that we do in the Savage Worlds game, but they are also going to be acting as our meta points for us to move back and forth on the sliders between our character sheets. For $15, you can treat the GM. Now, this gives the GM Jams a Benny. You don't want to do this because he's got 5 of them already, and he doesn't need any help from the likes of you. Win, lose, or draw, usable by any player, allows you to draw 2 cards for initiative and take the card of your choice. And, of course, all of your edges will apply to that if your character has them. Dance, Magic Dance is going to make us all dance around like idiots for the better part of a minute, but only in our chairs because COVID. System Shock. For $30, you can, what it does is it throws a random bit of chaos into the game by throwing us somewhere randomly on the slider, whether we want to be there or not. Story time. You can select a character, and when you buy that, the character must tell everyone a story from their sordid history. That's going to, get a little bit more backstory going on. And a reliable source, one of my personal favorites, where we take time out of the scene at hand for one of the characters to talk about it as though that they were in a confessional on a reality show. Now, the greatest of all of them, in my opinion, is the Rule of Cool. How this works is if you buy a Rule of Cool, every character gives their perfect world scenario, regardless of how ridiculous it sounds, and the audience votes upon whoever they like for their for what their idea is. If the person who wins automatically succeeds with the raise, everybody else probably is going to miss that roll really, really bad because they chose way too many things to do. And, of course, the Hack Attack for $250, you can actually make anything you want happen in the game. Just throw the money down, say what you want to go down, send it to GM Jams, and he will make sure that it shows up whether we want it to or not, or whether he wants it to or not. These are my favorite because they can make him cry.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. Hey, thank you so much, Christian. And since you guys have seen Christian, why don't I introduce you guys to the cast of our show and the people that they are portraying. We've got Bryce Bebop playing the daring Vector Reigns, space hero, war veteran, and holovid star. Brash and cocky, Vector believes that he, in fact, should be leading this team. Christian Doyle is Jonamox, serving out the remaining prison sentence paroled to the team. Jonamox is the last surviving member of a species of shape-altering beings. There is certainly more to this dimensional thief than meets the eye. Elise Moore is Ranger Rhonda Riddenauer, the last Space Ranger, protector of the innocent, instrument of justice, and best human shield. Rhonda's great strength is nearly a match for her tremendous heart. Helen Roundhill is Princess Hedgehog, the last remaining goblin from their dimension. Princess Hedgehog is a powerful practitioner of magic who greatly misses being the center of attention from their adoring fans. Together,
I am the center of attention.
Together, they are the Reliables, traveling through time and dimensions to make the universe a better place, one mistake at a time. Now, before we get started, let's talk about the game system that we use on this show. Like many tabletop RPGs, Savage Worlds uses a dice system. The better a character or creature is at a skill or attribute, the higher the die used in conjunction with the attribute or skill. Success for many basic tasks requires only a roll of 4 or better, with rolls that exceed that number by 4 or more called raises. In addition, almost every die roll in Savage Worlds can ace. This is when the die roll is the highest possible number. When this occurs, you get to roll the die again and add it together, potentially triggering another ace. Initiative in Savage Worlds, or determining who goes within a turn, is determined by a deck of playing cards, with those drawing the highest cards acting first. In the case of a Joker, not only can that character take their turn at any time, including interrupting an action in progress, but any skill or attribute rolls made by the character within that turn gain a +2 bonus. Overall, Savage Worlds is fast, furious, and fun, just like the creators intended it to be. I hope you enjoy the show and the game system. In this particular episode, we will be using avatars. Now, what is an avatar? Well, they're beings of great significance who share a body with the mind and soul of a pilot. In this case, our heroes, the Reliables. While within the avatar, the two personalities both exist, and control often changes. This is indicated by a slider, which you will see on the screen. This slider has 3 positions. Avatar, indicating that the avatar personality is in control. Pilot, indicating that the pilot personality is in control. And center, where the two personalities are mixed. Where a character is on the slider also determines which character sheet they will use for their attribute and trait die rolls, and what special abilities they have access to. Our heroes can use their bennies to move themselves on the slider, as can our audience by using the personality disorder store item. And now let's get back to our story. Previously on the Reliables, our heroes captured and subsequently escaped the Galvanic Collective, gathering vital intelligence on the plans of these ruthless entities.
#shout it is good to see you all again. I am looking forward to this week's story. Like everyone else, I am looking forward to seeing what you all can accomplish when you work together, whether intentionally or otherwise.
Thank you.
We're hoping so, Eldon.
Thank you, Eldon. Team leader John Stone made contact with the council and received new mission parameters. Prevent the Galvanic Collective schemes from coming to pass. The use of metapods, devices which allow pilots to enter the body of the avatars, was authorized. After a safety and technical briefing, our heroes have entered these metapods aboard the Reliance. Vector Rains, Jonamox, Ranger Rhonda, and Princess Hedgehog are to use the cover and capabilities of their avatars to locate the Galvanic Collective's agents and prevent their plans of prolonging a brutal war. While our team has a vague familiarity with these metapods, they don't have any real experience using them or interacting with avatars just yet, so tensions are high. As the metapods are engaged, brilliant white light surrounds our heroes as their souls and minds are catapulted across dimensions, into the bodies of unknown avatars of dimension 01776. All 4 of these avatars are prominent members or allies of the Legion of Liberty, the superhuman arm of the colonial army, aiding the 13 colonies in their battle for independence from the Crown of England. Vector Rains is Robert Franklin Smith, the Bull of Boston. Superhumanly strong and durable, Robert is able to boost these abilities even further through concentration and effort. A former blacksmith, he joined the Legion of Liberty after the capture of Boston by forces of the Crown. Stubborn, confident, and capable, many English soldiers have learned the hard way that it is best to stay out of the Bull's way. Jonamox is Jean-Pierre Dubois, French spy and saboteur. While not a member of the colonial army or the Legion of Liberty, Jean-Pierre has been ordered by his commanders in France to aid the rebellion and cause chaos to the forces of England. An able swordsman, brilliant spy, and improviser, Jean-Pierre has tremendous experience in infiltrating and defeating British forces on all fronts. While he claims to in fact have no powers himself, there is certainly something more to this dedicated French spy than he lets on. Ranger Rhonda is Prudence Cafferty, the Appalachian animal. A rugged frontierswoman raised in the wilds, Prudence comes from a long family line of individuals who bristle under the yoke of English tyranny. Prudence joined the Legion out of a sense of duty and, more importantly, a hatred of oppression and its agents. They say that the animal is nearly unkillable and can shoot a rider off their horse at more than 400 paces. She is also a legendary tracker and hunter. Princess Hedgehog is Margaret May, the Emerald Flame, a fierce and fiery woman, infamous for her destructive attacks on both England and the patriarchy. Margaret is tough as nails and is capable of both creating and controlling powerful green fire. Already notorious among English forces, Margaret seized the opportunity to join the Legion of Liberty and raise hell against the crown. And as we jump right into these avatars, we are going to do a system shock to determine where they're going to start on their sliders. We're going to start with Vector Rains and Robert Franklin Smith and see where he's going to end up on that particular section. And we're going to start right in the middle for the both of them there. Very balanced and a little bit of both personalities in there. Between Ranger Rhonda and Prudence Cafferty, we are going to start in full avatar with all of Prudence's force coming to bear as this story begins. Between Princess Hedgehog and Margaret May, we will also start in full avatar as well, who really can compete with that strong of a personality? Even Princess Hedgehog is going to struggle to go against something that forceful. And for Jonamox and Jean-Pierre, we are going to start exactly in the middle with a little bit of balance between the two of them. And where we begin our story is in the briefing tent, the command tent of John Adams, de facto Secretary of War for the colonies. His bearing is grim. Legionnaires, it is with a heavy heart that I must ask a dangerous assignment of you. Members of the Continental Congress have discovered that General Washington has been captured and replaced with a shape-changing double, an agent of the Crown. If this were to be discovered, the blow to the morale of our men would be devastating. But all hope is not lost. Our agents have discovered that the true general is being held in Boston, in secret and under guard in a manor house. As you well know, Boston is currently occupied by the king's men. I ask, nay, I beg, that you infiltrate this fortified city, liberate Washington, and return him here so that we may depose this impostor without arousing the suspicions of our soldiers. Horses have been prepared should you agree to this undertaking. What say you, legionnaires?
We've got this.
It sounds delicious.
Can I go
I'm
on
just
foot?
wondering,
Pardon?
why'd you go on foot?
I don't know. Horses kind of get spooky around me. I thought maybe it'd be better if I just went on foot.
Can you run as fast as a horse?
I don't know, probably.
Right. So how do we know that Washington's actually been taken?
One of the other members of the Legion of Liberty was able to scan his mind and find out that he is secretly an agent of the Crown. We do not wish to confront him openly, as the blow to the morale of the men would be tremendous.
That's just like the British, really. They'll take something of yours, give you something cheap back, pretend like you liked it all along.
Like French food, for example.
Sure, like French food. I was also going to say maybe like any food, or land, or titles,
Ah,
or freedoms.
see, that is the problem with living under British rule for so long. It makes you very complainy. Is that the word?
Well, it's one thing to be complaining, it's another to have a lot to complain about.
It's better than having nothing.
Nothing's pretty good. I'd like to say that living with nothing and nobody is kind of the way to go. You're just out there. You, bears, cats, squirrels, more squirrels, lots of squirrels. I eat a lot of squirrels. It's what I want. That's the life I'd like to lead. So
Your entire existence is utterly depressing.
thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So, horses then?
We should take some horses.
We have to.
Good.
Good luck, Legionnaires.
Thank you. Ugh. So, is there a field commander, or that we just kind of go do our own thing, which is fine with me?
The Legion of Liberty is granted a great amount of autonomy to complete its missions, and usually given incredibly specialized duties. They rarely take part in the typical straightforward battles done by the colonial army and the redcoats. Now, of course, there is the opposing arm among the crown forces, the despicable greycoats, the crown loyalists and British soldiers with their own superpowers.
Sorry, I involuntarily spit every time I hear the English. Even when I say it.
I spit when I get bugs in my mouth. Gets the bugs out. That's a hot tip.
Thank
All right,
you.
I'm going to get on this horse here. They tend to not like me because I smell like cat piss. See, what happens is you rub cat piss on your body, the cats don't smell you coming. And any other predator is pretty much going to get out the cat's way. Unless it's a bear, then you got to rub bear piss on you. So it's going to take me a minute to get this horse used to me, and then I'll be ready to go.
That's fine. So, do the bears, after you've put the bear piss on you, worry that you are somehow just like a large bear cat?
I mean, how much attention do you pay to your own piss?
Me, personally, if it's not the color of whatever I drank the night before, I worry.
There you go. Basically, I'm a pile of bear piss in the woods.
Yeah. Don't worry, mine is
bye-bye.
always a deep red like my Beaujolais. I should live well into my 30s.
I don't know much, but your piss shouldn't be red there, bud.
That's not healthy.
So you are a doctor now. That's good. That's good. I will worry about my own wee-wee, thank you.
I mean, you rub enough piss on yourself and you start to get familiar with the usual colors.
If you ever learn to write, The Usual Colors could be the name of your autobiography.
No, thank you. No need for reading, no need for writing. Papers for wiping, that's what I say.
Now there is an idea I had not considered.
I'm gonna go work on this horse. Easy there. Easy.
It is a bit skittish at first, Prudence, but you are able to calm the animal with a little bit of effort.
All right, where are we headed? Boston?
Indeed. It is a decent ride to Boston. And it is near sundown when you finally arrive on the outskirts. With a strict curfew in place, it won't be long until wandering the streets draws unwanted attention. Robert, you're very familiar with the city, having lived here your whole life before the war. There is a curfew in place with the Crown forces controlling Boston, which makes it also very dangerous to be out.
Do I still have a shop?
It might still be there. You haven't been back in the city in nearly a year.
Speaking of which, it has been 2 years, and why does this place still smell like salty tea?
So,
Well, there's a very easy answer to that. See, it's because the British are still salty about the tea.
How can anyone
It's not
understand any words that you say? Your accent is so thick.
Christ.
all right.
You're
folks.
one for talking, for sure.
We need to find
See,
a place
I
to
didn't
hunker
catch any
down
of that.
because there's a curfew. So, first thing we should do is check some digs. I've got a place over here we might be able to stay.
And when we are done looking at our digs, then we will find a place to stay?
We'll talk about your place to stay later. But
Yeah.
let's go check it out. See if my place is still standing. If not, then we'll have to make do. There's got to be
Yes, I'm
some contact.
Sure
here.
that Prudence can show us something in the woods.
Don't want to make too much do, or she might rub it all over
I-
herself to get away from cat bears.
I'd rather not smell like cat piss or bear piss, if that's an option.
I have heard you are
get
missing
used
out.
to it real quickly. I'd just like to point out.
You know, we've ridden this whole way, and I'm still not used to it.
It's, I'm in the same place.
Yeah, well, I'm not used to cities or towns, so all of these walls are making me real nervous. So if we can just make our way through this, I'd rightly appreciate it.
Well, you are able to make your way through as the sun is getting low, and you're drawing a lot of eyes from the numerous wandering patrols of British forces. They are eyeballing you with your horses and moving about. And you draw a little bit of attention, but manage to avoid being actually stopped and questioned. And when you reach your old shop, Robert, you are greeted with the most horrible sight. As a blacksmith shop, it has been taken over by Crown loyalists who are now manufacturing goods for English soldiers.
I no longer have a spot for us to stay, everybody. Unless we did something about this. But I think that would be premature. We've got some things to do.
Yeah, we're
Right.
trying to look. We're covered. It's okay. You got to imagine yourself like you're covered in cat piss at this point. We're trying to do it stealth style. I'm not trying to fight the cat.
Safe to
Quite
say
yet.
we are in a safe place now?
No.
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 In fact,
We're looking-
Jean-Pierre, you would assume that you were in the exact opposite of a safe place in a city occupied by
I'm just
redcoats.
asking because he brought us right here as if this was a place that we should go, and it
Last I
appears
knew
to
it
me-
was safe. Last
You know,
I knew.
I'd be more than happy to burn the place down if you like.
Well, that does no one any good.
Oh, sure it does.
Perhaps we just go
There's a
clear
whole
it
load
of
of
the
the British.
rabble and hide out until the bodies begin
let's
to
do
smell.
that. So I'm gonna try to guide us to a place where I know that they're going to be liking of our ideals. Is there any
Oh,
place where we could?
That might be a little bit difficult for you. I'm going to have you make a common knowledge roll to see if you can find a place that isn't going to be troubled, but it's going to be very hard. I mean, with the curfew in place and loyalists everywhere, just about anyone who's sympathetic to the rebellion or the colonies has been locked up or ran out of town.
Well, that's a D4 for my common.
That
knowledge.
is. So a D4 and a D6 for a common knowledge for. Oh, you could, in fact, you're in the middle, are you not? You could use either common knowledge. Unfortunately, because you're in the middle, you're going to be at a penalty to either common knowledge roll.
Fortunately, they're both D4.
All right, so you're actually going to be at a D4 and a D6, both of them with a -1 penalty to see where you wind up.
But that stick still explodes.
Yeah.
Big money, big money.
Yep, that is gonna be a success. You remember a tavern that was owned by someone who was fairly sympathetic to the colonies, and they do tend to have some rooms there, so that might be a place that you could stay. Even has a stable to hide your horses.
And a certain prudence.
Now, why would anyone want to hide that?
So, guys, I think I know a place where we can go. It's got room for the horses, room for us, room for Prudence and her cat piss. We are set.
Sweet.
All right. You make your way to the Tea Leaf, and it is pretty
Let's
damn.
move the Boston boy into the captain's chair and see if he knows some nice locals.
Oh, thank you, Chad. They pushed. All the way. A familiar sight. It is unfortunately very unfamiliar to you. This place be entirely empty. Not a single customer in here. In fact, it's so that when you first come in, there isn't even a barman behind the counter at first, and then he comes out with a quizzical look on his face from the back. But I figured you was redcoats.
Do I look like a fucking redcoat?
And no one else is out after dark.
That's
Well,
why
neither
we're
are we,
inside.
technically.
Well, that's convenient because we don't plan on being out after dark.
I don't have much. The redcoats took it for their soldiers. Most of my beer and I got some, but not much.
Wine?
Prudence just walks up to the bar, like takes out the axe, hacks it into the bar, and just says, "Beer."
Let me see what I can dig up.
Prudence, you're an absolute queen of diplomacy.
Prudence, you're an animal.
Don't know why y'all use so many words sometimes. I want a beer. I said beer. I got a beer.
Oh, I thought you said bear. I thought you were ordering bear.
No,
Well,
I
there's a good
got more
chance that the beer tastes like cat piss anyway, so...
Yeah,
Prudence
I
will be
assumed
happy.
she would have to go to the back for bear because no bear in their right mind will come in here with an obvious bear cat in the room.
I'm glad that you guys are understanding the situation. I do not understand what the smirks are for.
This is the natural expression for every person
Shout, the
from
hunters of my tribe often cover themselves in the excrement of the agar, a large predator that roams the plains we live on. It is deeply fragrant but keeps them safe. I pray that the cat's Prudence is familiar with have more pleasant aromas.
They do not.
Most definitely not.
The barman returns with some mugs containing a rather thin beer and a very dusty, somewhat worn bottle of wine, which he places on the counter. The beer's from my personal stash, and I dug that wine up, but I don't know if it's any good.
So
Thank you
I'm
kindly,
gonna look.
sir.
Oh, sorry.
That's it.
I want to look around to see if there's anything that like leads to a secret, speakeasy type room where like good guys would be hiding because this is clearly some bullshit, right?
It's true.
It's pretty damn empty. Not much in here. There's some rooms in the back, maybe it looks like, and then a kitchen area. There's not a lot to this place. It's pretty run down. Looks like it's seen better days and probably had a lot of customers at one point. But with Crown loyalists and redcoats crawling all over Boston, a bar notoriously sympathetic to the colonials is not a popular hangout.
Oh, so we'll be marked just for being here then.
Perhaps, but if they truly knew that the barman was sympathetic, they probably would have arrested him or burned down the bar by now.
All right. Well, at least there won't be anyone around to listen to us planning.
That was
We
my
don't get
plan.
many travelers. We don't get many travelers because of the war and all.
Oh yes,
What
this is
brings
our
you
first.
folks here?
This is our first time in Avatars. We have not done this before.
What?
What?
You didn't get any travelers
Hashtag
tonight
move one
either.
towards LEs.
I'm thinking you mean towards Ranger Rhonda on that one. So we're going to go to the middle between Pilot and Avatar on Prudence and Ranger Rhonda.
Oh, good. Another sane person.
Listen in, kid.
Yeah.
Slams
didn't
the
see
beer,
anyone tonight.
slams it on the bar, and just woo!
I know. I feel much the same way. Except I feel like I have something in my mouth all the time.
Prudence. We're trying to keep a low profile. Simmer down some, please.
Understood, sir. Guy, friend.
All
right.
You didn't see us tonight, and you didn't hear what we're about to talk about. In fact, you may want to make yourself scarce.
I'll be in the back. I don't want any trouble.
Neither do we.
Unfortunately, Jean-Pierre, that bottle of wine has apparently been sitting around here so long that it tastes more like vinegar than wine.
I need to send myself out for more wine.
What?
So you're not going to be a part of the planning then?
What?
I will be here for every minute of it. Hey! More wine!
Are you utilizing a power? Is that what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you are in the middle, so unfortunately, you're going to have an additional penalty of
I'd
one.
I'd like to spend a Benny first, so I can do this
Okay.
right.
So 1 Benny spent.
Let's
from
move
the,
me all the way to
from the-
Avatar. Let's see what Kermit here can do.
All right, so that means you're just going to be at your standard roll, which is only a -1 for your particular power, which is Legion. What's your die skill in Legion there?
10.
All right, so a D10 and a D6 for Jean-Pierre.
And it's a power usage roll, so make sure they both come up as ones, okay, Mark? Thanks.
All right, a 5 and a 3. Even with the 1 point penalty, that brings it to a 4, which is still a success. 1 success with the Legion power creates 1 exact duplicate of Jean-Pierre. There are now 2 Jean-Pierre Dubois standing in the bar.
Hey. Be a dear, get me some more wine from someplace that is better than the shithole.
So that whole no powers thing's bullshit, right? We're good? You could drop
You
that
have no-
now?
What do we mean? That's my brother? This is my brother? Also Jean-Pierre, known as Jean-Pierre II.
So I haven't even started
Yeah.
drinking yet, and I'm seeing double.
All right, then. That's the line we're going with. That's fine.
Yes. Chop.
Go, do. I got it. All
He
right.
And
doesn't
out.
like you.
And out the Jean-Pierre goes. He's dressed identically to the Jean-Pierre you know.
Keep your
and
hood
walks
up!
Identically.
Keep your
There's, in fact, no difference at all between
Hood
the
up!
2 of them.
I'm not here to judge a man. I'm just here to get a job done.
Yes, well,
So,
the job would be better served with wine, plus he will most likely do some scouting along the way. He has a good head on his shoulders.
He has.
If he
your
runs
head
into
on
the
his
British, he
shoulder.
might not have any head left.
Oh, he is the smart brother. I am the dumb one, but also the handsome one.
Right. Well, I don't know about that, but here we are.
so we got to go get the general.
Doesn't know you are. No one can understand you.
We need to liberate him from his wherever he is. So that really seems like a you, Jean-Pierre thing. You're the man with brothers coming out of everywhere.
I mean, if we were to come up, all right, team, let's come up with like a top 3 shit things we gotta do next. Like, okay, number 1, where's the general? We gotta find him. He's somewhere, right?
Step 1.
2, get him.
Excellent.
3,
Yep.
group hug.
Let's not do that cat piss. How
Oh,
about
yeah,
we instead
don't know
flee the
about
town?
that.
I don't understand why you guys don't want to
James?
do group hug.
Yes.
I would like Jean II to be a little sneaky.
All right. What is your stealth skill?
Jean, what is it?
Yeah. What is Jean-Pierre's stealth skill?
It's not good, but it's not bad. It's 6.
All right. 2 6-sided dice. 1 for the wild die and 1 for the standard die. As Jean-Pierre attempts some stealth, as Jean-Pierre do.
Oh!
Hey, aces!
Oh,
wow.
avatars
That is
appear to be the way
effective.
to go, huh?
With a total of 10, that's a raise on the stealth. So Jean-Pierre Du is extraordinarily stealthy, slipping through the alleyways and streets without being detected by a single redcoat soldier. And he is gone for about 6 or 7 minutes before he comes back in bearing a bottle of wine. And as he sets it down, he promptly disappears.
So what, are you keeping him in the saddlebag or something?
No, I was trying to be forward with what I do so we know what tools we all have to work with on the coming mission. I realize it is terribly out of character for me, but I'm also feeling a little bit out of character today, apparently. So,
I feel
none
that.
of you are English. We can do business.
So, that's not your brother then?
Of course, it is not my brother.
Wait,
There cannot
what?
be two handsome Frenchmen that are that handsome with the same genetics. It does not seem possible to me.
So is
He
this
is very handsome.
how many of those you got in there?
I don't know. I've never done more than, 4 or 5 at a time generally. But, I mean, for you, I would make several more to keep up. In a fight, I meant in a fight.
Whatever,
If we-
I know.
If we were to fight, I would have probably 3 hold you down, while 2 more scrubbed you for several hours.
Yeah. Oh, this is a good look.
It is. It's very nice. You sure you're not English? Okay.
I'm just saying, once they smell the cat piss,
They never go
pheromones
back.
in there.
That actually rhymes in French.
I got my eye on you.
That is also very disturbing. I'm in.
Well, you do have a couple of bits to help you with your endeavors. You know that General Washington is currently being held in one of the manors here within the Boston proper. And Robert Franklin Smith, being very familiar with Boston, happens to know where the majority of the manors are all located. The wealthy individuals tended to have built their houses in a particular section of Boston, fairly close to one another. Unfortunately, something that was discovered by Jean-Pierre Deux is most of the owners of these houses, being not loyalists, were forced out of their homes, and their homes taken control by senior officers within the British Army, meaning that that section of Boston is crawling with redcoats.
So, anybody fancy a cleansing fire?
I mean,
I'm just saying, a town can be rebuilt.
How did we all know you were going to choose to maybe try and convince us to catch it on fire, as if you had not done that dozens of times on the trip here with literally every obstacle we came across?
I'm just saying, if something works,
I mean,
you might as well do it.
So your plan to save General Washington is to burn down the town.
It's not the
Well-
worst idea. It's just really bad.
If they're busy with a fire over on the other side of town, we sneak in.
So
We get
burn
the general.
people not even involved then.
Oh, sure, why not? If they're still here, they're loyalists, aren't they?
Oh, no, there are good people of Boston who are living under the thumb of the king. Maybe they want their freedom as much as any of you other trashy colonists.
A trashy colonist.
Prudence just starts backing the fuck up.
Well, okay, I got an idea. We
So
know
what
that
about?
most
No,
of these
I'm not
manors-
ready yet. No.
Okay, well, I was going to
What's
say you
that?
could burn stuff down, but no.
What exactly did you mean by trashy colonist?
Oh, I mean, worthless leftovers from countries that do not want them anymore. And so
Oh,
they have
that's
to come
so
here.
interesting coming from a Frenchman that nobody's wanted in, well, ever.
Oof.
Prudence is like getting into the rain barrel out front.
Mademoiselle, I assume it's mademoiselle because you are not married.
That you're aware of?
Oh, no, I am aware.
Oh, well, sorry.
Let's have a hashtag fourth wall from Gene something 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 the avatar. I am not actually good with names, apologies.
Oh, wonderful, ladies and gentlemen. So that sounds like that we are going to hear from a reliable source in one Jean-Pierre Dubois.
Well, here we go then. This country, then 2 years ago, and Americans are already the most insufferable people I have ever met in my life. I only want to do good here, to help the colonists get out from under the thumb of the king, so a better king can rule them from France. This is basic stuff, guys. I am here for your benefit. Listen to what the hell is this thing anyway? This is so weird. Never seen one of these before. And why am I talking to it? Huh.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, a reliable source, Jean-Pierre.
So, before bickering, you want to light things on fire. It's not the worst idea if we just light like a little bit of the town on fire. They'll all go there. We'll go to the manor. It's going to raise some alarms, and I think that's probably not a good call. But we got to play to our strengths.
So we splitting up. You going like across town to light this fire? You coming? Is it going to be like 2 blocks over? Like what?
Well, it's got to be close enough that we can draw the people out of the one manor. So it's got to be close enough that we can draw people out of that manor over to another manor, because there's nothing that rich people like more than protecting property. So I'm thinking just close enough, maybe 2-3 blocks away. Get everybody all riled up. You sneak in the back door. I don't know. Maybe if there's more opportunity to burn things down. It's just, if you're asked a question, the answer is probably arson.
Just one burning. We can't have more fires.
One burning. Oh, sure. One burning, unless it's not enough.
It's enough.
There's got to be a right bastard. I don't know why I'm a pirate right now.
You're a part of my heart. It's okay.
But there's got to be like a real messed up, bad man that we can just if we're gonna light somebody on fire, let's make it worth it. Because if he's a bad enough dude, they're gonna, they like the bad guy. So let's find a straight up
burn someone.
What?
Is there an English governor here? I feel it. If by any chance his manor is close to the manor that we want.
See,
Somebody's
now we're working on the beginning of a good plan.
Wait, what?
It was a good plan from the beginning. It really was.
We
You
were
were just too busy being thick.
We all agreed it was terrible.
Did we now?
We went from burning a place to burning a person.
We all agreed. You mean you, your brother, and your other brother.
It was Robert who said it was terrible. He said, that's a terrible plan. It's terrible. It's very bad. He said so, out loud.
Come on, let's burn down the house if somebody kicked a puppy or just something let's just pick one, light it on fire, get this going.
After we ask you to submit. Okay, so.
I'm still in the rain barrel. All of this is just waist deep in a rain barrel.
That's not drinking water anymore. You can't drink that. You ruined their water supply.
Use it for a garden. It's a grey water bin.
Really what it is that water now tastes like this beer.
Why does cat piss taste like despair?
No, she
this
said.
Beer. This beer. The beer that we're drinking.
Your
this beer
accent
that
You
is
could not
very
understand
thick.
her because of this stupid accent.
Yeah, your accents are thick.
Yeah, we all picked real great accents. But it's very hard not to use each other's accents.
So,
Aye, Captain.
Sorry.
Hey, James, what about what time is it? In our...
It is well after sundown now, so the curfew is in effect. Which, of course, is also means it's dark outside, and with the only artificial light being lanterns and torches and the like, it is the opportune time for stealth and subterfuge.
So,
It is the opportune time. I would just like to point out, though, that there's nothing quite so beautiful as a sunrise over a fire.
Right, yeah. No,
I
Margaret?
think if we wait till dawn, we start the fire, and everybody's like, oh, look at that, everybody runs out. Everybody's still quite groggy because they've just woken up. And then the sun comes up, and it's beautiful.
Okay, good plan. Question. Can you make fires go away?
Oh, sure, I can make them go away from me, yeah.
So then you could just take out the torches as we walk by then.
Oh, now, yes. I could do that. I probably won't, but
Okay,
I could.
but what if you did that?
So why could you maybe do that? Because it would be helpful to our not getting seen on the way there.
And then you get to light a house on fire. Just saying, it's a give and take relationship here, Margaret. Give and
You
take.
put out a few tiny fires, you get to start one great big fire.
Give and take.
You're putting out the fires in my soul, but I suppose I can do that, yeah.
Margaret,
Oh.
you're a godsend. Thank you.
I
Margaret.
don't think all the oceans in the world could put out the fires in your soul. You burn so bright.
Oh.
So come, let's go burn down the
This
house.
is the closest thing you've ever come to for a compliment for me, and I'm just going to revel in it for a moment.
Watch. Hey, you want to go burn something down?
Oh, baby, you know I do.
Okay then. Let's go.
Let's bring out a little Rhonda hashtag move.
Oh, man. All right. That means we're going to move the slider one more towards Pilot for Ranger Rhonda and Prudence Cafferty.
Yes!
Oh, Pilot.
I've got a
Ranger
bet on the
Rhonda
pool
going.
that the first thing she says is, "Why do I smell like cat piss?"
Something has
All
gone
right,
wrong.
full Pilot for Rhonda.
Okay, all right. Hi, all right. So, that's very soft. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is so sweet.
Prudence, you're gonna have to bring it down a notch.
Yes, this seems perfectly natural. Okay.
Goodness gracious me, you've gotten really talkative all of a sudden.
Oh, I don't know. It's just it's one of those. I had alcohol tonight, and of course, that's how that works with alcohol that I've had.
That
So, aside from being covered in piss, you also can't hold your booze then.
was a real weak beer.
Great.
Indeed, and I am soaking wet for a very good reason.
It is because you're standing in a rain barrel.
Time to be inconvenient. In lieu of being able to think of anything to make James facepalm as a hack attack, let's be inconvenient for everyone else. Hashtag zap.
Oh, my.
What
Moving
happened?
towards a system shock on
Oh.
that.
No!
Wait, but we just got here.
Yeah, we were moving forward.
Uh-oh. Don't worry. I'll
He probably
be
won't
perfect.
drop that in the middle of a combat.
No way I will do that at the worst possible moment. Yeah, who are we kidding? I'm gonna wait till the worst
After the
possible
show
moment.
ends. Okay.
So the oh no, I'm not going to say what I was going to say. It would give him ideas.
Yeah.
Who, me?
So,
No, not you.
Oh, you
So
don't
it
want to
seems-
give, you don't want to give James ideas.
I don't want to give James ideas.
so it seems you have a plan. Am I correct? That there will be some stealth involved and perhaps
Yep.
putting out the lanterns and torches as you are moving towards the
Yep.
Now,
upper
we know,
class section of town?
but we don't know which house he's in specifically, correct?
Not exactly which one, but there are not a lot to choose from either. So-
Right, but one we're going to save the future president of the United States from, and one of the other ones we're going
Hi
to burn
James, the
down
first
with green
think this
fire.
needs substantially more chaos. Can you system shock them once every 15 minutes or so for the rest of the show? Hashtag zap.
Well, that's a choice. That's a choice right there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you do realize that we're going to need an awful lot of pennies to make this plan work if you're going to
That
be
is
zapping us all over
fantastic.
the place.
Lumiere, I should have known it was you, you son of a bitch.
You French.
I have been burnt by you before.
Lumiere can be my guest to fuck right off.
All right.
Oh, this
well,
is gonna be good.
seeing as I have 5 of them, we're going to use one of those right now, just as you're heading out of this tavern to enact your plan, because it seems like the perfect moment for it. Some chaos. Thank you, Lumiere. We're going to start with Vector Rains and Robert Franklin Smith and see where he ends up on the slider. Let's go ahead and hop over to the other side and go full pilot up there with Robert Franklin Smith and Vector Rains. Just all the way over there.
Rains?
Let's see. Between Prudence Cafferty and Ranger Rhonda, we're going to hop right back to the middle. Just right back in the middle. A little bit of balance coming back in there. For Margaret May and Princess Hedgehog, let's go ahead and drop you all the way into pilot and bring Princess Hedgehog out to play.
Uh-huh. Who didn't see that one coming?
And of course, for Jean-Pierre and Jonamax, we are going to do the same thing and go full pilot on Jean-Pierre and Jonamax.
Okay, I'm there.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. I should roll some test dice to see if they come up as ones.
Now that you are. Oh, no.
Okay, and you have just set out from the Teak Leaf Tavern, headed towards the more wealthy section of town with a plan to put out lanterns and torches, something that I don't think you're capable of doing any longer at the moment, Princess Hedgehog.
I sure am not. I sure am not.
But I
so
am going to need stealth rolls from all 4 of you. So let's start with Vector up there in full pilot. What's your stealth skill, Vector Rains?
I've got a D6.
All right, a D6 and a D6 wild die from Vector Rains for stealth.
Like a D6.
Like a D6. Okay.
Let's see. Is this it?
A D6. 2 D6.
Yep. 2 6-sided dice for Vector Brains, please. Oh, a 5 is a success, so your stealth is going to be adequate.
Good with 5.
Let's find out what happens, though, over with Prudence/Rhonda. Now, you're in the middle, so you can use either character sheet's stealth skill, but you're going to be at a -1 for whichever one you choose to use.
Yeah, we are gonna go with Prudence's stealth.
And
So
what
that's
does... A D8, you said?
Hmm?
All right, a D8 and a D6 with a -1 for Prudence. Again, we're going to come up with a 4, which is a success. So we've got 2 successful stealth tests. And how about Princess Hedgehog? What does Princess Hedgehog have for a stealth skill?
4.
All right, a D4 and a D6 for Princess Hedgehog. She is not the most stealthy, but a 4 is still a
that's
success.
not bad.
I did
Well
it!
Well done. And, I happen to know that Jonamax is actually really talented at stealth.
That
I
doesn't
forget
mean I'm gonna
exactly
get the
how
roll.
talented.
Double 1s.
So, what do you have for that stealth skill that I know you're excessively talented at?
10, buddy.
10. And you are in an urban environment, so you get that extra +1 from your
I love
training.
it.
So a D10 and a D6, and it gets a +1 added to the final result. Oh,
Hey!
because of the +1, either of those becomes a 4, which is
As good as Princess Hedgehog.
I'm sorry. I would just like to clarify. I'm not sure you are as good as Princess Hedgehog, but that's fine. That's fine.
I just meant the roll.
Well, good.
Sure.
As long as it's the roll and not the rule.
And so the four of you
Anyway.
sneak across Boston and make it to the more wealthy section of town, which is just as Jean-Pierre Du pointed out, crawling with redcoats. Patrols in the streets. Every manor seems to have guards at the gate, as well as those patrolling the manor grounds themselves. And it is difficult to tell which manor was probably the one holding your general.
Well, I can scout.
Okay,
Look,
I
you
have a
should do
plan.
that, Jonamox. Right? Sorry, John.
Can
No,
we double down on
that's
this?
me. I'm me. But I need
I can
him.
make friends. I can make friends with the rats. The rats might know.
Ooh.
Great. So you get the rats to check those 3 houses. I'll check these 3 houses.
I'll find a cannon and some gunpowder.
I need to spend Benny.
All right, that's going to cut into the bennies. You can use your own private individual one, or you can use one from the store.
How many do we have in the store?
Currently left in the store, there are 3.
I would like to use one in the store, please.
All right, so there are now 2 remaining in the store as you move to the center,
Yeah.
correct? Okay,
Yeah. Because it's 2 to move all the way to Avatar, right?
that is correct.
And I want to use stuff from both, so I need to be right in the middle.
It does give you the most versatility.
Great. So what I want to do is I would like to split myself into 3 people.
Oh, no.
Oh, if you
Oh,
want to do
all
that,
right,
you
let's,
can do magic, that's okay too.
Let's roll that Legion roll first then. And because you're in the middle, it's going to be a
It'll be
total penalty of 2. Yeah.
Right. Well,
So what is your-
2 instead of 1?
Yeah. What is your Legion skill again?
It's 10, so it'll be 10 minus 2.
All right, a D10 and a D6 for Legion, and let's see how many we end up coming up. Ooh,
I'll take. No,
You
that 5
might-
will do me.
but it drops to a 3 with the -2, unfortunately. So
Oh,
you might
okay.
need to use a Benny to re-roll that.
Yeah, I'll do it. One of
All
mine,
right,
This is
one of
one
yours.
mine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Using one of your Bennies, get us a re-roll on that. Oh, the 10 aces.
Yeah.
Let's add another 10 to that first one. And that gives a 13 with a -2 becomes an 11. And because that's a success with a raise, that means that there are now 3 Jean-Pierre Dubois standing
Good.
where there was 1.
That's what I needed. Now I'm going to turn all of them into air and have them scout out the houses.
Ah!
That's going to require a shape-changing roll, so I need the focus roll. Again, it's going to be at a -1 because you're in the middle. So what?
Hold on a second before I do this. Now, they're there now, right?
Yes.
My duplicates are there. If I go all the way back to Jonamox, do I not have to have that -1?
You would, in fact, not have to have that -1.
But the dupes would still be there because I'm still in the body of Jean-Pierre and I've already used his power and it's good for 20 minutes at this point.
10 minutes, but yes.
Right. 10 minutes.
Better hurry
So
up.
we gonna break the game so good.
I'm doing it. I'm gonna spend another Benny.
One of the ones from the store or one of your personal?
Yes, one of the ones from the store because I'm not using it
All right.
for a reroll.
Excellent. Another Benny used from the store.
And now
That
I'm
brings
gonna
us
roll.
down to 1.
Now I'm gonna roll those shape change rolls.
Oh, no.
One for
And
each
a
of them.
shape change roll. Yep, you're going to need to make a roll for each individual
a
Jonah Mox
D8.
on that one.
D8, D6.
All right, so a D8 and a D6 for the first one. That's a success. A D8 and a D6 for the second one. Not a success.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
And a D8 and a D6 for the third one. That one aces. Oh, wow. An extra D6 added into that, please. And that is a success with a raise. So particularly well done on that one. So
Cool.
2 of them become clouds of air or gas.
Okay, so those
Nice.
2 are going to go scout 2 of the houses, and I am going to do the equivalent of Ding Dong Ditch on the third house.
Explain that for a little for me, please.
Well, I'm going to knock on their front door. When they open it, I will most likely be crapping on their front porch. I'm going to say "Viva la France" and then run.
Right,
And what exactly does that accomplish?
Well, whoever's inside will be chasing me, and it'll give a little bit more time for the second and third one to go check that house.
There is one drawback to that plan. It requires either hopping the perimeter wall or getting past the guards posted at the gate to get to the door of the manor house.
Oh, I can do it at the gate just as easily as the door.
Okay.
A crap's a crap wherever you take it.
This is 1777. I can crap pretty much anywhere I want.
Wait, so
Okay.
the plan is to just walk up, make eye contact with a guard, drop trowel, and just lay a steamer?
And then say "Viva la France"
Okay,
and
I'm
run.
sorry.
What?
I'm sorry. I missed
Now,
that part.
you are
Sorry.
inhabiting a French body. There is not a lot of fiber in that diet. Cheese,
Let's
bread.
not go into too much
Why?
detail, please.
It's mostly blood.
No, that's unhealthy.
Hey, I mean, you might have typhoid. It is wartime. That's basically when we see it the most. So you might have the runs any moment, and that would be historically
Anyway, yeah,
accurate.
and it's a metaphorical crap that I'm taking on their front porch. You see, what I'm doing here, I don't need to actually poop. This is
I feel like all of us are a little bit disappointed by that. Actually,
this is a kill lifting moment. Like, hey, England, look at my wiener. It's that. It's Braveheart,
Okay.
but Frencher.
Now, as you are sending,
surrender heart.
as you are sending off your,
It'd be Braveheartless.
as you are sending off your various duplicates to their assigned duties and yourself, I believe that
Assigned to duty.
that's
Oh
right.
my God,
You're all 5 years old.
duty.
I believe Princess Hedgehog had something that they wanted to attempt.
Oh yeah. Okay. So I am particularly adept at capturing small animals for no reason, food. So I was thinking I could befriend a rat and find out what they know, or a cat, or a dog, or a pigeon. I'm sure they've seen something.
There are a variety of small animals. In fact, there are a lot of rats in Boston. I'm not going to lie. There's a
Tasty.
lot. But there are also other small animals as well. So I believe that you're using magic for this. Am I not mistaken?
I was. Yes. Yes, I am.
What
Yes, I
exactly are
am.
you using? Can you tell us about it?
Yeah, it's called Beast Friend. Not
And-
unlike most of my friends, absolute beasts. Wait.
And what does that allow you to do?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So, Beast Friend, oh my God. Do you see how many pieces of paper I have? There are more on my desk right now. Thank you, James.
You're welcome.
I have a question. What the fuck is paper? Don't you also
what-
have 2 monitors in front of you?
He's so
No.
funny.
No, I don't. Currently, though that would be a good idea. I have not done that. I have one of those brains that works better if I can hold the thing I'm thinking about.
So get a laptop. Game Boy, a phone?
I want to see somebody load up a PDF on a Game Boy.
Okay.
Look,
so
I don't know.
Anyway, it makes
Princess.
any animal intelligence a natural creature friendly to me, and I can befriend up to 5 creatures
Hashtag
at
shout
any
one
one
of the
time.
greatest things I have discovered from watching all of you is learning new battle tactics I can pass to our hunters. However, I do not believe this most recent one from John Amox will have many uses for them.
You underestimate the power of a porch dookie, but that's fine.
Okay.
Or-
So you can use that individual spell. In addition, I believe that you have the option to spend a little more points to use the Mind Writer modifier and tag along and see what it sees and communicate to it. So how about you give me a spell casting roll first to see if you can
Yes,
succeed at this. What is your
absolutely.
spell casting?
I mean, it's super low. It's only a 12.
A D12 and a D6 wild die. That is going to be a success. With multiple animals, you're going to spend a total of 5 points with the Mind Rider and sending out 10 total rats, pigeons, and other small beings. Simultaneously seeing through all of their eyes at once is a very disconcerting experience. Now, Jonah Mox, I still need one more roll from you, from the Jean-Pierre that is going to attempt to outrun the guards that are going to pursue him when he...
Athletics, I assume?
Yeah, when he bears his royal seal. So...
Christian, I am 12 years old and have giggled every single time I have heard duties tonight.
Thank
So
you
many
for the
games.
bennies. We're going to desperately need them. I appreciate
We
it.
really, really are.
All right, so what is Jonah Mox's athletics score? Because you're in full...
10.
Oh, wow. Full
10.
avatar, so a D10 and a D6 as he attempts to outrun the guards.
Yeah!
That aces. Oh, man, the 10 aces. Let's add another 10
Oh
in
my
there.
god.
It looks like he really has the runs.
Oh!
No.
Can we get another D10 added to that roll there to see what happens? Oh, man. That is pretty impressive, with, in fact, a 19 overall for the athletics test. Now, there are 2 guards that are going to attempt to chase
We
him.
invented parkour, motherfucker.
So both
Oh
of
my
those
God.
guards each get a D6 to try and catch you, but they're going to need multiple aces to even have a chance. So if I can get 2 6-sided dice rolled, please. Do either of them ace? One of them aces, it's got a chance. It doesn't ace the minimum of 3 more times it would need to attempt to catch you.
Crazy.
And while they've given me some extra bennies, I don't feel like using them on guards chasing down Jonah Mox. So, but that does
Sure. Are you sure?
that does clear those 2 guards from the gate, and with the 2 gaseous forms scouting out manor houses and all the numerous small animals scouting out manor houses, it becomes rapidly determined that that one particular manor house that the guards have just ran off from the
Hashtag
entrance of.
parkour is just the French martial art of running away.
Thank you, chat. You are able to discover that the now abandoned front gate of that particular manor must be the one that is holding General Washington, as neither gaseous versions or the small animals were able to locate any hidden or concealed prison or anything that would indicate that General Washington is being held in any of the other manor houses.
All right. Are these guards like on me? They're not going to catch up, right?
They are not going to catch up to that particular Jean-Pierre Duc.
Okay, well, I would like him to lead them on a merry chase. I'm going to climb up to the top of a very high wall and then dive off of it.
Oh, God.
Right at them. Head first.
Okay, we will cover that eventually when they get close to catching him. But for now, let's go back to this manor house that has now been conveniently abandoned by the guards out front. Being as that it is after dark, there are still a couple of groups of guards, pairs of them in fact, patrolling the manor grounds itself. And the manor is most certainly occupied.
Well,
In
the two
addition
of
to
me are
whatever
working on that.
In addition to whatever nefarious forces might be within guarding the captured general.
Did they happen to leave any guns?
They took their rifles with them.
Unfortunate.
They probably intend to shoot the offending Frenchman if they can catch him.
We all.
Oh, I can just let them shoot me too. That'd be fine.
Princess, do your little friend things happen to see any explosives, cannons, muskets? I don't know. Just something to shoot.
Yeah, I assume so.
Yeah, they're being carried around by every single redcoat patrolling this area of town. They're all carrying.
Yeah, but
Brown
like
vest
something
rifles.
big. Like something that somebody's like hiding away for a rainy day that goes boom.
Yeah, nothing in particular in these manor houses. They're just, small arms for the moment. Brown vest rifles. Some of the officers, of course, have pistols as well.
Ooh, that. So, Rhonda, would you be a dear if Prudence. would you be a dear? And if I were to persuade a couple gentlemen to come over here, would you just crack their heads together?
Of course.
Just want them to go to sleep. That's it.
Just a little nighty-night?
Yeah, just a little bit. It'll be fine.
Sleep?
Yeah.
For any particular reason? And
well, it'll take them out. We could take their clothes, and I'll have their guns.
okay, so maybe somebody like on the side or back of the house.
Yeah, not like right through the front gate. That would be a crappy move.
Good. Just checking. Just seeing what's up.
Okay. I'm gonna wait for a patrol to come by, and then just call them over and say, "Hey, gentlemen, this is crazy. Come look at this."
You there? You're out after curfew.
I'm
then I start a fire.
lost.
This is crazy. Come look at this. She just runs
This is insane.
inside of the house. Crazy.
It's so crazy.
They are approaching with their weapons pointed at you, Vector Ranks.
Hands up, just whoa. I just wanted to make. Did you see that guy, that French guy who was shaking his patootie at your friends? Now, Rhonda,
Doing are still being very sneaky.
anytime, Rhonda. This is crazy. That French guy, Rhonda, crack the skulls, Rhonda.
She's
They can't
behind
get much
going
closer.
No, good. Now? No, not now. Now.
Do
Now?
the thing
Not now.
anytime. Yeah, just woo. God, it was French. We hate
Right.
them.
All right, and then just a quick. See if I can. I guess silently. Are we in the middle of the street right now?
Yep, right in the middle of the street in
I
front
thought we
of
were
this
still
man.
stealthing somewhat.
No, apparently not.
Apparently
All right.
You just-
All right, I'm going to need a fighting roll from you. Because you're in the middle, you can choose which sheet you want to use, but either one is going to be at a -1.
I'm gonna use Rhonda's fighting. She's a D12 for her fighting roll.
All right, I'll
U-turns,
take
definitely.
a D12 and a D6 from Rhonda with a -1 penalty for being in the middle. That is going to be an ace roll and down to an 8 with the -1. With a raise, you are in fact able to slam their two heads together. What is Prudence's strength?
Prudence's strength is D8.
All right, and can I get a D8 for unarmed damage, please? No extra D6 on this one, just the straight single D8.
That
The
was
suspense.
excellent.
I see nothing.
Pronda?
A D8, please.
Prondance?
I like
Computer.
Rhonda.
Pronda? I like Pronda.
A D8, please.
We found it.
4 is going to hit decently hard enough. Neither of these individuals is knocked unconscious by the blow, but both are going to be briefly stunned by it. And before we determine what happens next,
They're both just like, ow!
we're going to go ahead and system shock everybody again because I've got some more of those in the store.
Dang
So
it.
let's start with Vector Rain / Robert Franklin Smith and see where he ends up on the spider. Let's go ahead and hop to the opposite side and put you in full avatar and let Robert Franklin Smith take the wheel. Between Ranger Rhonda and Prudence, we're going to go ahead and put you all the way into Ranger Rhonda for this second part of things going together. Between Princess Hedgehog and Margaret May, let's bounce to the other side and put you all the way back in Avatar again.
Okay.
What?
And with Jonah Mock / Jean-Pierre, we're going to put you right back in the middle.
Always in the middle.
And of course,
Judge
now I am going to be dealing out some initiative cards as those guards might get a chance to act before anyone else is able to do anything.
Come on, good card.
So dealing out the
Abstract
cards.
Hacksack, here's a little extra help. He'll send it along to James and he can add this as he sees it to be his duty.
So
Oh no,
my.
I think I may have done something terrible.
Yeah. The smell will go away eventually.
All right, flipping the cards. Oh my.
I'm feeling
What's
wild.
that? I spy with my little
If
eye.
I'm Rhonda, I get another card.
Oh, you do, don't you?
And don't forget, we've got a couple of draw twos in the store.
Let's pull that card and your replacement card, Rhonda.
Okay.
Can I use a Benny to get a new card?
Absolutely.
And correct me if I'm wrong, is that a Joker?
That
Oh,
is
yeah.
a Joker, so everyone did just get a Benny,
A Benny.
as a result
Excellent.
of
Excellent.
Excellent.
Good work, Christian. Jonah Mox.
And
John.
I love the graphic in the back of the soldiers loading the rifles and actually shooting them. That is
Really
fantastic.
cute. That's super cute.
So unless you want to go first there, Jonah Mox, we will go to Robert Franklin Smith. So you tell me if you want to go first.
Well, this is kind of their fight, but I would like, since I do have the Joker, I am going to do something.
Okay. Well, do you want to do it right now? Because we can do that right now.
Sure, yeah, let's get it out of the way. That way it doesn't have to be a scene later. So me, who's been running from the guys, is going to, leap off a building
Okay.
at them. But the two air me's that are still around are both going in that house.
Excellent. Okay. Well, only one of those is actually going to require a die roll for you because those stealth effects are still going on. But I'm going to need an athletics roll from the leaping head first at the two pursuers.
Yeah.
Of course, you get a +2 bonus to this because of the Joker. So you're only that offsets that those minus or that -1 and makes it only a +1. So what's your athletics?
It is 10.
All right, so I'll take a D10 +1. And
Well, my best athletics is 10. Oh, God,
and that aces.
I'm having some fine athletics luck today. I'm not going to lie. This is a perfect, rolling swan dive. I want to land, right eye first on this guy's bayonet.
Oh. So purposeful leap to your death and impact, and it is perfect. The judges momentarily appear, and I'll hold up 10s before impact.
That's what I needed to see. And hopefully it hurts the hell out of that guy, too. I mean, I am still a 200-pound dude landing on him.
I'm going to rule, in fact, it flat out incapacitates that individual. He is not going to be involved in anything for the next several days, if not weeks, if he doesn't pass from his injuries.
Plus the scene maybe horrified him psychologically forever as well.
Yes,
We can
terrifying.
only hope.
He says,
of course-
hopefully.
What makes it worse as the duplicate version of you immediately is gone after impact and death.
Terrifying.
Right, but that only, that's only just now the duplicate version of me.
Yes. All right, so then I guess we will find out from Robert Franklin Smith what he intends to do.
Fucking hate the British. So I'm going to walk forward and I'm going to kick them both in the head. Just full
Okay,
force, fucking boom with one, then boom the other. So
Those are going to be 2 different fighting tests.
Yep.
So you get the -2 multi-action penalty to those. What is your fighting skill?
it is a D12.
Yeah.
All right, a D12 and a D6. Number 1, aces. Oh, man. That is going to be a 14, which is a success with a raise for the first one. The second one, let's see if it is equally as good. Another D12 and a D6 for the second attack. That drops down to a 4, but it's still a success with a 4 in this particular case. Having a little bit of a stunned reaction, they are distracted, which means you're going to beat their parry score. So that both of those attacks are going to hit. The first one is a raise, so not only will it do your unarmed damage, but it will do your unarmed damage with an extra D6 because of the raise.
Okay, so that first one is a D12, a D6, a D4, +3.
Whew. Wow, that is Quite the impact for a kick. Wow. That is a lot of dice. And one of those aced, so it's even worse. With 17 total damage.
You hit him like a freight train.
Yeah, you hit him like a train. Ribs break, the sternum cracks, blood flies from his mouth, and he is catapulted completely over the manor wall and somewhere beyond into the courtyard area. The second one doesn't get that extra D6 for the raise, though. So
it's a D12
you're only gonna,
and a D4.
Yep, you're only going to get the D12 and the D4.
Mm-hmm.
Plus 3, correct?
Ooh.
Ooh, do you want to...
Benny,
roll that again.
Oh!
Not a lot better, but a 9 is still going to beat their toughness by enough to inflict a wound. And in this case, that's enough to take this individual out of the fight. It is not nearly as dramatic, as they are not catapulted through the air. They're more just grazed by the impact, but that still shatters their jaw and they collapse in a heap on the street. Well, that fight was over before it could even really start.
Woohoo!
Assuming, no one saw the individual be catapulted through the air and land in the courtyard. It is after dark, so...
Wouldn't that be hilarious if his body landed right next to my body?
Steven?
I did get a joker.
I am aware. All right. So, that also cuts to our two air versions of Jonamoc/Jean-Pierre, which have now infiltrated the manor house that you believe General Washington is held in. One on the upper floor and one on the lower floor have now completed circuits throughout the entirety of it. It is staffed by numerous individuals, redcoats. There are officers and that officer's personal staff and guards in the building. And while you did not find a hidden or held General Washington, it was strange to notice that the doorway with the access to the cellar, the stairs there, has 2 guards posted at it.
That is very strange.
Yeah, I think I still have some animals running around in my brain. I can only assume that our poor Margaret May is very confused by visions of rats in her head. And but since their directive was to find General Washington, I'm just going to assume that they're
still looking. And
they're still looking.
Fact, one of your rats has made it into the cellar through a small crack near the outer entrance, as there is an exterior entrance to this cellar. And from that rat, you can see that exterior entrance to the cellar has been nailed shut from the inside, but the small hole in it does little to stop the rat from getting in. And down in that cellar, there are 2 more guards along with a gray coat operative standing guard outside of a room that has been converted into a cell where a rather worse for wear General Washington is tied to a chair.
Right, so I don't know how I know this, but there's an awful lot of guards.
He's in the cellar, right?
Yes, he's in the cellar. Yeah, I know. How do you know that?
Wait.
One of me comes back, by the way.
Oh, good. Good. So he's in the cellar. I guess a rash told me or something. Oh God, I'm very dizzy. Is it time to burn it down now? Please tell me it's time to burn it down.
So there's 2 guards at the inside entrance of where the entrance to the cellar is. How many are outside?
Right, there are 2 more outside. I think there are 2 more actually in guarding the actual cell itself.
But the rat has told you that the outside entrance is nailed shut, so...
Yes, yeah.
Only a very strong person could maybe rip that door off with his bare hands if you were a blacksmith or something, right?
If only we had...
I mean, sure, assuming that we didn't just completely incinerate it, which we totally could.
No.
There is a man inside we are trying to save because he is the future of your country, remember?
Yeah.
Well, sure, yeah.
You can burn that house, you can burn that one.
There's so many houses you could burn that aren't this one.
And I'm just going to say that the moment they start pointing at houses, I've got flames in my hands.
Bright green flames.
Do you have flames in the houses, though? That's what the real question is.
Are you going to throw fire
Oh no, you can't see it because it's green.
Are you going to throw fire at one of these houses or manors? Is that what I'm getting from this?
Are you going to burn
Yes.
down civilians? Yes or no?
I'm not burning down civilians. I'm burning down people that, sympathise with the British. I think that's only
Turncoats?
fair.
And,
Well,
Turncoats.
and you have discovered that the majority of these manor houses have been taken over by senior officers and their staff. So it would.
They were
You know-
all bad.
It's debatable, but I believe that you have the ability to throw bolts of fire from your hands as Margaret May. So what is your skill roll with that listed on your sheet for your bolt skill?
So for bolt, it's a 10.
All right, can I get a D10 and a D6 with a 1-point penalty to those rolls? Because, well, there's only 1 point, but a critical failure is going to come up on that roll.
Oh!
So for the first time that any of you have ever seen, as she reaches out with fire, in fact, the green flame in her hands sputters and goes completely out.
You Jonah.
My heart.
I'm gonna pat
It's
her on the
broken.
head. It happens to everyone sometimes. Don't worry.
It doesn't happen to me.
Well, it just did. So.
Princess
There was a lot.
Jonah Moss.
There was a lot going on today. You know, you're stressed. There's a lot of reasons. I
like
wouldn't
this.
worry about it.
It's
Maybe-
never been like this before.
You're a little bit like that man who always talks about all of the women he always makes love to and wants to make love to. And if I knew that woman, I would be making love to her right now. But then they get in the bedroom and
What is every Frenchman?
Yeah, wait a second. Are you talking
Oh,
about
okay.
yourself?
Sorry.
This sounded very specific.
100%.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna make sure that my powers still work. So I'm gonna boost myself.
Are you going to boost your strength or your vigor?
We're gonna go with strength.
All right, what is your boost roll, your skill roll?
That is D10.
All right, can I get a D10 and a D6 with a -1 to the boost? The 10 aces, so does the 6.
Damn.
Wow. So we are going to get either a 12 or a 9. I think the 12 is better. So the 12
Hello,
is going
it's
to be...
not John Mox today. Hello, Helen. I see you. You seem to be in a hashtag jam.
Oh, thank you for another Benny chat. Now I can really go to town. I am going to use these at some point when I get the perfect villain, I promise. And you've made them now nigh immortal. I love it. That is a success with a raise. So your strength is going to be temporarily boosted 2 steps.
How long?
That is going to last you for the next 5 minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, mine still works. So sorry.
Oh, go ahead and
Margaret.
rub it in. Nobody
That's what
minds.
I'm doing. Does that not sound like it? Okay, sorry. Well, we know where he's at.
You know, I believed in the unbelievable cruelty of the British. I didn't realise I'd get it from my own team members.
Fair. I'm sorry that you
Wait,
could
hold
not
on.
perform
What
right
what
now.
did she call me?
A team
Did you
member?
say
That's the best thing to be.
something about British cruelty?
All right, Prudence. All right.
Oh, I'm
No,
sorry. Did you?
My
did you-
honor is stained. He draws his sword.
Wait, are we going to be dramatic about this now?
No. I will simply run you through since your fire is completely useless.
He's got you there right now. But do
Oh,
we
so
have time
we're
for
going
this?
to do this, are we? Are we going to do this? I'm gonna just boost a little bit of a flamethrower at my friend here. If he's if he is pulling a blade,
His
on
sword,
me, then
his sword is
fire
out. He's
on
doing
him.
the whole saluting around like a little Ponzi dude.
Okay, all right.
He seems to be all tiny testosterone right this second.
So you're using your burst skill? Is that what I'm getting from you?
Yeah.
All right. What is the what do you have for a die roll for burst?
You want to read what the effect on burst is before
it's-
you catch all your friends on fire, Smarty?
Yeah, that's an excellent point. Yeah, we're gonna go to Bolt and try to knock that
Okay.
blade right out.
There
of his
we
That's what we're
go.
gonna do.
Okay.
It would have been so much better with the burst.
What's your bolt die roll then?
Well, it's a 10 if it works.
All right, a D10 and a D6 from Bolt again. -1 penalty. We have a success. So that Bolt is in fact going to hit your target. In this case, one Jean-Pierre / Jonamox. Unless I believe, do you have the dodge?
I do, as a matter of fact. And I'll use
Oh, so a ranged attack has to beat that roll by more than 2. So as your bolt of fire is flying so perfectly and true with unbelievable reflexes and speed, he dodges to the side, and your ball of fire hurtles off down the street at points unknown.
And hits a manor house.
Yeah, in fact, it does in fact hit the roof of a manor house almost a block away. And now there is a small fire going on the roof of that manor house.
I believe Jonah Mox's eyebrows are probably a little bit singed at this point. He puts his sword away and goes, "There, you have been taught a lesson." And he turns
sure,
around.
Yeah, I've been taught a lesson. I've been taught a lesson. You know what I've done?
You burned down the house?
I've burned down a house.
Well done, team. That's exactly how it was supposed to go.
Okay, impressive. There's now a house on fire. What are you doing now, guys?
Well, I mean, you want to go from the inside or from the outside?
You know what?
I'll go
think we should
both. I'll take it from the front and back door.
There was this one time.
This is what I've heard about the French, yes.
Oh Lord, that's inappropriate.
But so true.
I'll go straight through the front door, guys.
That's my
Through the front door or through the nailed shut cellar door?
Nailed shut cellar door. That's the one I meant,
Okay.
of course.
That is going to be the quickest access for you. You're going to need to make an athletics roll to remove the door, though.
Can I just jump through it?
Yeah. Are the rest of us going the same way, or are we going to pincher attack?
That is what I'm going to ask next, but I want that die roll from you before we go any further.
I want the most explosive, amazing entrance.
Okay, athletics it is.
Okay. So athletics.
What is your athletics?
A D12.
All right, can I get a D12 and a D6 for the athletics? That's an 11, which is a success with a raise.
I also get
so that
plus
entrance
1,
is
I don't know
going
if that
to be. That's going to be. What's that?
I get a +1 to athletics rolls.
Oh my, that's a 12. So that's in fact a raise and then a raise again. So 2 raises for smashing through the cellar door. And now I pose the question of the others. If you are going to attempt to pincher attack, it does mean that you will have to enter the front door of the house, move through the house to the cellar entrance, deal with the guards at the cellar entrance before getting to the cellar that Robert Franklin Smith has just jumped into. So there will be a slight delay in you all arriving to that area if you choose to make said pincher attack. It will, however, cause all sorts of chaos and discord. So I leave it to you to decide if you are following Robert Franklin Smith then, or if you are going through the front door of the manor house and making your way to the cellar entrance through the house.
I mean, what about guarding the back?
I'm following Robert, but I'm also fighting the guards in the front too.
Oh, so you're going to use both of you. One of you fight the guards in the front and cause a scene in the front is what I'm getting.
Yeah.
And then the second one of you following Robert in through the cellar entrance. Prudence / Rhonda, what do you have in mind?
I love the back door, so I'll be going through the back door.
Okay. And Margaret May?
Oh, God, I just can't make up my mind. Like, I want to stand at the back just throwing out flames at anyone who comes close. But I also want to be in the heart of the action because, of course, I do. And I also want to make sure that the Frenchman doesn't fuck everything up. Oh, I said a bad word.
Then you should probably come with me then. Or go with me. Either way, I will be there.
What's it going to be, Margaret?
I want to be in the action. I do.
All right.
I think I can. How are these places lit?
There are lanterns and candles almost
blackout.
everywhere.
Weirdly, electricity.
Dramatic blackout? Is that so?
Dramatic blackout.
So are you going through the front door of the manor or through the cellar entrance after Robert and one of the Jean-Pierres?
I'm going to go through the front door because.
All right.
Because it's awesome.
Well, we are going to deal out some cards and flip them to see what happens in this absolute chaos that is about to ensue. And the cards have been dealt. And almost perfect accuracy. It looks like with that ace of clubs that Robert Franklin Smith was just burst through, feet first, that nailed shut cellar door, landing in the cellar below, completely skipping over the stairs to the shocked and surprised faces of 2 redcoat guards and 1 graycoat operative.
Now you have to yell out your strong guy catchphrase.
Let's get hammered.
Perfect. That's right up there with its clobbering time. That's good stuff.
So what can we expect from you, Robert Franklin Smith? There are 3 opponents down here. One of them, one of the dreaded graycoats, the opposing version of the Legion of Liberty. Super powered individuals loyal to the crown.
I can deal with him in a second, but I'm going to take one of these redcoats, grab his feet, and use them to smack the crap out of the other one. Like
all right,
Incredible
so
Hulk.
hitting a redcoat with a redcoat. So that's going to require 2 actions from you. I'm going to need an athletics test first to grab hold of the first redcoat. This is going to get a -2 penalty because you're doing a multi-action.
So that will be a D12 plus 1.
So a D12 -1 then, and the D6 wild die with a critical failure.
Why, Christian? Why did you pass this curse? Why did you do this to us?
My.
From
You
all
reach
the way
forward.
across the manor, you're going to hear, I hear it happens to everyone, don't worry about it.
That is a
Yep.
critical failure. So you completely miss in the entirety with the grapple. You did, however, already commit to a multi-action, so you still do have a second action. You're just not going to be able to grab that particular redcoat, as he turned out to be remarkably squirrely and your footing remarkably poor after leaping in feet first through the cellar door. Who would have thought?
Crazy. Well, since I was going to hit a dude with a dude, I guess I'm just going to continue that momentum and just hit the guy instead of with a dude, just with my hands.
All right, I'm going to need a fighting test at a -2 from you.
So that will be a D12.
D12 and a D6, -2. We've got a 6 or a 2. The 6 is just enough to beat the parry of this particular redcoat guard, and you're going to hit him for your unarmed damage. And what kind of unarmed damage are you dealing right now? Make sure to factor in your boosted strength.
All right, so that is a D12 plus a D4 plus 5.
Ooh. A D12 and a D4 plus 5. The
Roll
4
a 4.
aces. Wow, so we are going to get 17 total damage inflicted. With both hands swinging, you crack into the body of this redcoat, sending him completely across the entirety of the cellars and into the stairwell, which he consequently goes through the stairwell, through the boards, and then into the bricks that hold this place up in a crumpled, bloody heap. 1 redcoat down.
I suggest you run.
And we're going to see who's next, which looks like is Margaret May inside the house is next. A thunderous crash has been heard from below. There are probably staff and guards responding all over the house right now. What do you have in mind, Margaret May?
I did promise a dramatic blackout. I did do that.
You can, in fact, I believe you have an elemental manipulation power that lets you control fire.
Right, so I'm going to draw all of the fire to me.
Perfect. What is your elemental manipulation skill roll?
Yeah, it's an 8.
All right, I'll take a D8 and a D6 from Margaret May. And a 7 is a success. You reach out and pull all of this.
I see you have failed to do your duty and swung prematurely. That seems to be a hashtag jam for someone, but it's unlikely to be you, Bryce.
Thank you, Chad. Thank you. But you do pull all the flames to you, which some of it comes racing downstairs, others from different rooms, but it does very dramatically black out everywhere in the house except where you happen to be standing now with all of these flames hovering right over your hands.
And I'm going to hold them underneath my face so that I like the dramatic like uplighting.
That is very, very dramatic.
And yeah, I'm just going to like to whoever is rushing us, just go, it's time to burn it down.
Ooh, beautiful. And that, of course, goes to the GM at a Queen of Spades next. Now, unfortunately, it just became pitch black for all the guards that were in the house and that were trying to respond to that noise. So they are, in fact, going to spend their turns feeling around or attempting to relight candles or lanterns, as none of them can see in the dark and they don't know where to go to respond to this threat. That's going to make things interesting for those ones. That does, however, leave the enemies down below in the cellar, which it's pretty dark down there with none of the candles lit down in the cellar anymore either. But there is a little bit of moonlight and starlight coming in from the busted open cellar door. So the red coat that you attempted to grab is going to attempt to bayonet you, Robert Franklin Smith. So if I can get a D6 fighting roll from the computer there, lovely. With a 1, it is not going to be very good, and the bayonet strike goes wide, hard to see in the dark, and also terrified at what you just did to their compatriot by launching them.
You do have 7 bennies. 7.
Yes,
We do.
No,
I do,
James.
and I'm going to use them, but I only want to
James.
use them on characters who are wild cards, like this gray coat, who is going to go also on this Queen of Spades one. And they intend to put a little bit more of a hurt onto this Robert Franklin Smith. In this particular case, I am going to do a multi-action because I'm happy to burn bennies to make sure I succeed. And in this particular one, I am first going to protect myself and bring up a lightning shield. So in this particular case, can I get a D8 and a D6 from the dice roller, please?
Yeah.
And that 8 aces, I like that.
I don't.
That's a 10, so that will be a success with a raise, and a protective field of lightning surrounds this gray coat, who is then going to attempt to hurl a bolt of lightning at you, Robert Franklin Smith, being the only valid target in the room so far. Yeah, I know, that's mean. I'm mean. And if I can get another D8 rolled, please. This one is a 6, even with the 2-point penalty for the multi-action. Oh, wait, I'm going to be at a -1 because it's boosted. So I'm going to use a Benny to re-roll that. Give me another D8 and a D6. Use one of my GM Bennies. Thank you, chat.
Bastard.
Oh!
Oof.
I will take that second one as with the penalty. That is going to succeed. So I'm going to get to hit you with 3d6 lightning damage. If I can get 3d6 rolled against Robert Franklin Smith's toughness.
Not great.
Ooh, I want to spend another Benny. I want to re-roll that. 11's not enough. Ooh, get that 6 aces. So go ahead and give me one more 6 in there to add to that total. Hopefully we can do better. Oh, still 11. I guess I'm going to have to take it. I don't want to burn all my bennies just yet. So what's your toughness?
Well, we want you to.
13.
13. 11 will be not enough. You are blasted by lightning, but it's not going to be enough to damage you.
Is that all you got?
We're going to go to the 10 of Spades next with our Jean-Pierre / Jean-Max. In fact, you've got 2 different people to deal with.
Indeed, I do. One of them is by Hedgehog, and the other one is by Robert Franklin Smith.
So which one are we going to deal with first?
Oh, let's deal with the one by the inside door with the Hedgehog.
All right. I'm assuming you are going after the guards that you knew to be posted at the cellar entrance, as none of the others have managed to materialize yet, having been slowed down by being blinded by pulling all of the fire to Margaret May.
Right. Yeah, I'll go after them. I'm going to attack both of them with a sword, since that's the weapon I have on me.
All right. So making multiple attacks or just
one multi attack.
All right. So you're going to be at a -2 for the multi-action.
I am right in the middle, aren't I? Let's go full Jonah Mox.
Okay. Spending one of your bennies or the last
Correct.
benny in the store. Oh, no, sorry. There's 2 bennies in the store.
Great. Then one of those.
All right, down to one of the in-the-store bennies going to full Janamox. I'll take 2 fighting dice, which are both going to be at that -2 multi-action penalty. Unfortunately, this isn't a knife, so you don't get your knife bonus with this. So
it's like a really big knife.
Yeah, it is very specifically not.
Still,
So I'll take
2 attacks at 12 minus 2.
All right, a D12 and a D6 twice from Jonah Mox for attacking with the sword. Oh. We'll have 1 success and 1 failure on that one. So you will successfully stab one
person.
Them. What is your sword damage? You use the sword damage on Jean-Pierre's sheet, of course.
Yes, let me take a look at that. Sorry, I'm wrong part of the sheet. Weapon. D8 plus D4.
All right. Can I get a D8 plus a D4 for damage from... All right. That is going to be a 6. It's not particularly high. You do have bennies you can spend if you want to try and re-roll that. I'm giving you the option before we continue on.
To kill this non-wildcard character?
Yes.
No, thanks. Not when you have so many bennies.
So many.
A 6 will make that one particular guard shaken, however, so they're going to have to try and recover from that before they get a chance to act. And that's going to take us to the last person, which is going to be... That
actually takes it to me.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. Don't want to skip you, number 2. So you in the cellar.
Me in the cellar is going to use his shape change ability to adjust his eyes to the darkness.
Ooh, very, very wise. And are you?
And I'm gonna find me a George Washington.
All right, so just a single action.
And move to him, which is not an action. So
no.
There you go.
All right, I will take a focus roll from you. What do you have for focus for your Jonah Mock sheet?
It doesn't matter. We both know I'm going to roll double ones.
Yeah, it's a risky play.
D8 and D8 and a D6.
All right, a D8 and a D6 from Jonah Mox.
Ooh.
Oh.
Not a double one, but still not a success.
But I will use one of my bennies to re-roll it.
All right, let's roll it one more time and try and get a better result than a 1 and a 3.
Because I'm going to always tin cup the shape change rolls. You know it.
That also is not going to be good enough with a 2 and a 1, but still not a critical.
Leo, hey, Leo, we're not going to need you anymore. Luckily, I got extra Benny today, so I will spend it again.
All right, using one more.
Remind me to wipe Leo and Mark off my Christmas list. They're not getting presents from me this year.
A 4 is a success, and you are able to adjust your eyes to deal with the darkness. Moving past the fight in progress, you reach General Washington. He looks like he has been forcibly questioned pretty severely.
Ooh.
Yeah, he is not in the best of shape. But he is alive and conscious as you reach him.
Do you need a heal?
He probably will need a heal after we're done with this, but we better take care of this gray coat first, because I imagine he's no slouch.
All right, Prudence / Rhonda, to you in the cellar, our last person to go for the round. What do you got in mind here?
So we've got a guy. He's got up what is a lightning shield, which is something.
He seems to...
something I feel like I should be familiar with, but I'm not. I don't know what a lightning shield is. So you know what I'm gonna do? It sounds like running into it is like a bad idea. Like don't put your body on lightning. That's bad.
I say go for it.
Just see what happens.
What's
Just
the
a
worst?
bug zapper.
Your nickname isn't not Human Shield.
The tricky thing is, I don't have my fancy armor on anymore.
Yeah, but isn't your avatar fancy armor enough?
I guess so. I could push. Can I?
Like, let's see how this power works.
Why do I feel like I'm being
Jump off the
put
building.
up for slaughter?
What you got in mind, Rhonda?
Oh, I've got some pistols. Let me take a shot at them.
Did you ask him to
Okay.
surrender first?
Just wait for it.
All right. What is your shooting skill?
My shooting skill as Rhonda is
Yes.
a D8.
All right. I'll take a D8 and a D6 as you shoot.
Technically, he has
4.
engaged in battle first, so I don't have to do the other.
That's nice, yeah.
That is true. A 4 is a success. What is the damage for that pistol you're carrying?
For my pistol, for my flintlock pistol, I have the brown vest, but I feel like it's a little close.
Yeah, it would be a little close range for that.
So the pistol is a 2d4 plus 1.
All right, 2d4 plus 1 for the damage, please. That's going to be 4, and it glances harmlessly off the lightning field, protecting this particular individual. That may be why they did it.
Reroll.
Cool.
Hammer time.
I learned something today. That was important.
All right, we're going to go to another round of cards. And I believe that Jonamox is currently at the helm, so I kind of have to put another card over that, in this case. Your replacement card.
The replacement card.
And this looks like, again, we're going to start with me because spades before clubs. And we both have kings. So at this point, we have one guard that is shaken. He's going to attempt to recover up on the upper floor. So if I can get a D6 for the spirit roll for that particular guard to see if they get a chance to do anything. He's not going to get a chance to, but his compatriot was not shaken. So he's going to take a D6 fighting roll against the Jonamox upstairs. So I can get another D6 for that one. We'll get the easy stuff out of the way. I don't think a 2 is going to beat your parry.
Not today.
Downstairs, we have the individual who attempted to bayonet you last turn, Robert Franklin Smith, is going to attempt to bayonet you a second time. So if I get another D6 fighting roll from that individual as they attempt to bayonet you. I don't think a 4 beats your parry, does it?
It does not.
Okay, so that leaves it to our gray coat individual. Again, I'm going to go with the multi-action. This time I'm going to throw a lightning bolt at yourself and a lightning bolt at Rhonda/Prudence because, well, I got bennies to burn and I want to bolt you both.
Poor Rhonda.
So if I can get that D8 and D6, please, twice from this individual. The first one, aces. So we're going to take a 15 on that first one. The second is a miss, so I'm going to hit Robert, but I'm going to miss Prudence with the thrown lightning bolt. Mm-hmm. We're going to do, because we got a raise on this one, 4 6-sided dice of damage against Robert Franklin Smith this time with the lightning bolt. So if I can get 4d6 in damage, let's get an ace in there. Come on.
No aces. No
That's
aces.
better.
No aces.
That's still going to be 16, which I think actually beats your toughness this time.
It does, in fact, beat my toughness.
What is your toughness
It
currently,
is
by the way?
13.
All right, so that's only going to get a shaken result on you, but I'll still take it because that'll either cost you a Benny or cost you an action or your action on your turn, which happens to be right after mine. So we'll go right into your turn since I just finished up there.
I'm going to spend a Benny.
All right, spending a Benny to overcome being shaken.
And crack my neck. I told you to run, boy.
Uh-oh.
I feel like we're all in trouble.
I know. I got uncaught.
So-
Sweating.
I'm going to do the multi-action. And I'm going to.
Okay.
I'm going to take. Oof. All right, so I'm going to take this red coat and throw him into the lightning shield guy.
Okay, so you want to grab a red coat, then
Yep.
throw a red coat.
Yep.
All right, those are both going to be athletics rolls.
Excellent.
You're going to take the 2-point multi-action penalty. So what is your athletics?
It is D12 plus 1.
All right, so a D12 minus 1 and a D6 thrown in there. That 10 becomes a 9, so unless we get a much better roll on that, we're going to take the 9 as a success with the raise. So your first athletics roll, you grab hold of this squirrely red coat, and then we'll do one more of those D12 and D6s for throwing a red coat at a gray coat.
Grab a red coat, toss a red coat, so says Big Bob Smith.
And a 9 is going to hit. He's going to count as an improvised weapon. So that is actually a hit with a raise. So you're going to do your strength damage plus an extra 2d6.
Ooh.
-1 if he's Welsh.
Oh gosh. So strength damage is a D12 plus 5. And 2d6.
Then the 2d6 is added into that. So we are at 12. Oh, man. We are going to do 22 points of damage. That's going to even overcome that lightning shield. I'm going to use one of those bennies to attempt a soak roll. Thankfully, this individual gets to roll a d12 and a d6 for their soak roll.
God!
What?
He's a soaking man.
So
Who
I'll
are
take a
we
d12
fighting, John
and a D6.
Stone?
I'll take a d12
No, it's
and a
John
d6
Stone's
to
brother.
try and not be killed by that nasty blow. Oh, I'm going to reduce it by 1, but that still means that I'm going to take a wound. So now Storm Reaver has been wounded. That's not so good for Storm Reaver and any of their further dice
What does
rolls.
that red coat look like, though?
That red coat is very dead.
Okay. You know, gave him a chance.
Yeah, very, very dead from
Very
that
good.
impact. Yep, it's going to be at a -1 wound penalty for all of Storm Reaver's actions. We're going to have a 10 for Rhonda next in the body of Prudence. What do you got?
I'm gonna move my rocket ship to the center.
All right, spending a Benny to go all the way to the middle there. That gets you access to both cheats. That's good.
Use
And
that
then,
rocket ship.
yeah, using that rocket ship. And then I'm just going full Sonic the Hedgehog face first into the lightning shield.
All right, that's going to be a fighting attack. You can use either sheet, but you're going to be at a -1 to whichever sheet you choose. So
And
who's
that is
fighting
okay.
score?
Fighting score, I'm going to go Rhonda's a D12.
All right, a D12 and a D6 at a -1 to either result. A 6 is going to be just enough to succeed and beat the parry. And you're going to inflict whatever your traditional unarmed damage is for your character. Which in this case, you're going to be using the character of Prudence for unarmed damage.
Unarmed damage is strength, which is a D8.
All right, a D8 for damage as Prudence physically impacts. Gets a 1. You hit him, and he barely even moves. He doesn't even acknowledge the impact.
Oh, Rhonda.
Yeah, not so great for you. But let's see what our 2 different Jonamoxes have in store for us.
We'll start. You want to start upstairs or downstairs?
I leave it to you, sir.
All right. So, downstairs, I want to get Franklin untied and over my shoulder.
Washington. Okay, you have untied
Washington.
and grabbed hold of Washington, and you still have a move action.
Which will be to move towards the outside entrance.
All right, you slip past the fight and begin dashing up the stairs and are now on the grounds carrying General Washington.
Upstairs, Jonah Mox.
Yes.
It's still fighting 2 guys.
Yes.
He is going to, light a tinder stick like he's lighting his cigar, and then just stick it in his powder horn as hard as he can.
You are going to suicide bomb. Is that what I'm getting?
That is correct, yes.
All right.
Hold on. First, vive la France.
Well, it is an action to light said explosive. It is not an action that requires a die roll, so the subsequent detonation simply occurs.
And that's how I kept from critically failing.
A full powder horn is going to inflict, it's going to be 4 6-sided dice of damage as it detonates. So can I get 4 6-sided dice of damage?
Just out of curiosity, were you going to warn me to hide behind something?
You're fireproof, right?
Am
No.
I?
No.
Yeah. Thanks,
Yeah,
bud.
This is
It
gonna
looks like
suck,
one of
man.
those 6s aced. So let's add 1 more 6 to the total.
Was it the person that compared me to the English not 10 minutes ago? That's
I
weird.
didn't
So
compare
that
you to
is
the
a-
English. I just said you were worse than them. Oh,
a
yeah. Okay, fair.
20-point explosion.
Shit.
Obliterates the upper floor near where those guards were, scattering shrapnel in various different directions as this goes off. Those guards are completely obliterated. The stairwell above the people in the cellar collapses, so there's no longer access from the upper floor as the fire rages. And I need an agility roll at -2 from you, Margaret May. What is your agility?
It's a 6.
All right, a d6 -2 to attempt to evade. Both 6s, because you get your wild die. So 2 6-sided dice. -2 to both of them. Those aren't going to be good. Do you want to use a Benny?
You know I'd really like to, yes.
All right, using a Benny. Roll it again.
Yeah, here's the thing. I've got 4 personal bennies, or I had 4 personal bennies. I now have 3, so we're just going to roll that again, yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
down to
keep
2.
rolling them until you get it. I didn't realize you were there still. I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
Down
we're going
to
to roll that
1.
again.
All right, 1 more. Roll it again. Down to 1. Oof. Unfortunately, even 4 different rolls won't save you from that explosion.
Isn't
What
there
is
one
your
in the store?
toughness? There is. Do you want to use the one in
Use
the
it.
store? Or save it to try and soak the
I
damage?
think actually
Oh,
I still
soak it.
one
Soak the
more,
damage.
and it's the end of our session, so I'm going to use my last personal.
Okay, you can use it to re-roll, or you can use it to soak. I would strongly suggest saving it for that soak, but it looks like it got re-rolled. Ouch. So what is your toughness there, Margaret May?
7.
All right, so this is going to be a success with 1, 2 raises. So you suffer 3 wounds from the explosion, Margaret May. But I don't believe that actually puts you out, does it?
It
Margaret
doesn't,
May?
no.
Can you
It
explain
doesn't.
why you are not blown to bits by that explosion?
I sure could if I could find it on one of the 7 sheets of paper I have in front of me.
It is a pair of edges that Margaret May has that makes
It would
her
be,
so that she
sounds
doesn't
like
die.
tough as nails and tougher than nails to me, James.
Yeah, it's that one.
Yes. So how many wounds does it actually take to incapacitate you, Margaret May?
5.
5.
Okay. So the explosion in this case just launches you right back out the front door and into the lawn, a little bit singed and worse for wear. And as you sit up, you can see there is Jean-Pierre carrying General Washington over his shoulder, has just made it out of the cellar, which is strange
am
because you
going
just
to
saw
stop.
Jean-Pierre blow himself up.
I am going to stomp right up to him.
Ah, good, you made it. Come on.
Yes, absolutely, I made it. Can we have a quick conversation about how not only did you blow me up, but you stole my whole thing? My
And then
whole
the
thing
most-
is to blow up entire whole houses. And there you go. There you go. You just take my thing.
And as you are screaming and arguing there at Jean-Pierre, you both see the strangest and craziest thing in the street out front of the manor house. A stagecoach rolls up, kind of swerving back and forth, transforms into a bipedal being for a second, staggers around, throws back a barrel of beer, and then transforms back into a stagecoach. You guys need a ride?
As a matter of fact, we do.
All right. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was a hack attack.
Is that Reese?
That is, in fact, Reese from Masters of the Metaverse, the alcoholic transforming stagecoach.
Yes!
He has somehow arrived here to pick you up. Don't ask me, you ask Chad. So,
Right, we'll take the ride, but I'm not sitting next to him.
now I'm going to deal out one more round of cards because we still have people in the basement to deal with, or the cellar. There are two individuals down there, Prudence / Rhonda and Robert Franklin Smith. And hopefully they can make a clean getaway at this point. But it looks like there might be something that holds them up. I'm assuming that we can skip Margaret May, who's going to be getting into the stagecoach at this time. Am I correct?
Oh, no. If I've got friends in danger of being burned alive, I assume?
You have friends that should be joining you shortly if they're following with any plan that you might have.
Sure. Am I concerned about the fact that they haven't got out of the house yet?
That depends on if Jean-Pierre would let you know if they're in trouble or if they're just fine.
No, they were fine when I saw them. I just walked past them.
So it doesn't sound like they're in any danger.
Well, I'm going to use my
Is that my card?
Going to use my roll for something.
Yeah, I gotta replace yours.
Oh, well, I should wait till you do that then.
Oh, it's
Okay.
all right. You are still going to be going first.
Well, with elemental mastery, I'm gonna do my team a solid here. And I'm going to put out the flames that might be in their path out.
Excellent. So can I get that die roll from you? What do you have for elemental manipulation?
It is an 8.
All right, I'll take a D8 and a D6 from Margaret May. And a 5 is a success, so you are able to suppress the flames that are all over the courtyard area and the manor house. Jean-Pierre Jonaman?
No. Not all over the manor house, just along their path.
Okay.
That house
Fair
is
enough.
still going to burn down.
All right. House is still going to burn down.
Even if I'm the one who burned it down?
Jean-Pierre
one of us
Jonaman?
has to be the bigger man.
You got the Queen of Clubs.
Yeah, I'm putting the general in the stagecoach that just drank
Excellent.
a beer.
Yes.
And I am going to cover my friend's escape in case other people are coming.
All right, there are lots of shouts, but it seems that a lot of the guards have been drawn off by the fire that was started a block away.
And also because I'm doing something, I might as well get myself an extra footman.
Yes.
So-
Can I get what do you have for Legion for the roll?
D10?
What's your D10? All right, can I get a D10 and a D6 for
Wait a minute, hold
Jean-Pierre.
on. Where am I on the slider?
I believe you're all the way Avatar according to this.
Okay.
So that 10 aces and becomes an 11. Oh wait, it's all the way pilot. I'm sorry. So you actually wouldn't be able to use Legion.
I'll spend my last penny then.
All right, so that's still going to succeed, and with a raise, not only do you have a footman, but you have 2 footmen in this case, as there are now 3 of you, as you are in the center on the slider, and your Benny is used. Now,
What are you waiting for? Get them out of there! So lazy.
wonderful. Downstairs in the cellar, it looks like Storm Reaver's going to have one more chance before he gets bludgeoned to death by the combined forces of the animal and the Bull of Boston. But he is not one to run away even when wounded. I'm going to go with attempting to lightning bolt the both of them again. So if I can get a D8 and a D6 for lightning bolting Robert Franklin Smith first. That is not going to succeed. And then once for Prudence / Rhonda of a D8 and a D6. That is also not going to succeed because he is wounded. Both of those lightning bolts go awry and strike walls. And that means the 9 of diamonds is next. And that's you, Prudence / Rhonda.
Wonderful. Let's just clarify: is the lightning shield still up?
Yeah, it seems to not actually be harming you and just protecting him.
Okay, perfect. I would like to, because I have I have an axe, and I just would like to go at his skull with the axe.
All right. So you
Just-
can use a fighting roll, and because you're in the center, you can use either sheet, but you're going to be at a -1 because you're in the center.
That's okay. A Rhonda fights at a D12.
All right, a D12 and a D6. A 5, or 1 and a 4, those are not going to be any good to beat the parry. Do you want to spend one of your bennies and re-roll that?
Indeed, I would.
All right, let's re-roll that and get a better result, perhaps. Oh, that is not a better result. You've got 2 more of your personal
Yeah.
bennies left.
Yeah.
Okay, 1 more. Let's do it again.
Come on.
That's still not going to beat his parry score. So, yeah. You want to use your last one?
Yeah.
All right, roll it one more time. And that's what bennies are for, guys.
There
That
we
is
go.
much better. That's 6 aces, and that 9 drops down and would be a success at an 8, but the 6 might be better. Let's see. Nope, it's not going to be. So an 8 is still going to succeed. What is your damage for Prudence wielding an axe?
With the axe, it is D8 plus D6.
All right, can I get a D8 and a D6 rolled for damage?
Oh, for the love of come on.
The 8 aces. Oh, man. A total of 16 damage. Even with the enhanced toughness from his lightning shield, that will be enough to inflict a wound. So I got to burn in one of those GM bennies to make a D12 vigor roll against that, please. I'm looking at a D12 and a D6 roll to try and soak that and use one of my GM bennies from the store. That is enough to soak the wound. You're going to, in fact, accomplish nothing with that as we go to the bull from Boston to finish us out. You, of course, still have movement, so you could attempt to also extricate yourself from the cellar before we find out what the bull of Boston is doing. It seemed that Jean-Pierre did successfully snag the general and flee the cellar.
Yeah, I'm taking off.
All right. Joining them in the courtyard, they are boarding a stagecoach which has no horses.
I still have 2 French grenades to throw in that cellar.
Yeah. Robert Franklin Smith, you're up.
That was a really good idea. I'm going to grab my own axe, and I'm going to chop into him.
Throwing it or attacking him?
I'm just attacking him, just trying to get right into his throat.
All right. What is your fighting skill, Robert Franklin Smith?
That would be a D12.
All right, a D12 and a D6. Ooh.
Oh, come on.
Those are not good.
Come on.
Gonna be using a Benny on that.
Re-roll that. Leo and the terrible dice roll.
we
The
go.
12
There we go.
aces.
That's more like it.
And we are going to get a significantly higher, which is in fact so high that you will get a raise. So you're going to inflict your standard damage with an extra D6.
Oh, no,
So-
no.
So that'll be D12 plus 5 plus 2D6 then.
All right, D12 plus 5 plus 2D6. Oh, man, and it looks like some of those aced there.
Oh, God.
And
Oh,
aced
no,
again.
no.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, both of the first 6-sided aced. So,
Gotta roll
am I
it
reading
again.
that right? So I need one more 6-sided dice added to the total. Oh, wow. So a total of 33 damage is used. I'm going to have to try to soak that with a D12 and a D6, but my chances, unless I get some acing dice, are really slim.
Just burn that Benny.
But I'm burning one. I'm only going to burn one, though. D12 and a D6 to try and soak.
Rocket tag, you're it.
You know, it's enough to do 2, but unfortunately, because he was already wounded, that means he's still going to take 2 more wounds, and Storm Reaver is incapacitated, allowing you to extricate yourselves from the combat. 2 men are now on fire and boarding with the general, the stagecoach, which takes off at a faster speed than any stagecoach any of you have ever been upon before. Going more at the speed that, the pilots that you would know from a car or automobile, and doing so without the aid of horses while it zips along the road, weaving a little bit back and forth as though the driver is slightly inebriated.
This coach is very fast and also talks.
This is a strange power, and I don't like it.
I don't know which one of your powers this is, but it is awesome.
It's not mine.
I'll get you there on time. Can we stop for some beer?
Sure, buddy. What is your name?
My name's Reese. I'm here to help.
Bonjour.
Pleasure to meet you, Reese.
Reese is not a man. This cart, it turns into a giant man that drinks.
Rhonda's like trying to figure out like where the face is that she can like say hi into. She just keeps saying hi into like windows.
I think near where the tow hitch would be.
Just upside down out the window. Hi!
Margaret May is rocking back and forth and praying loudly.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is our show.
Well, damn.
Damn indeed.
I want to thank you all for joining us and supporting us. I hope you guys all enjoyed the show. Don't forget to tune into this channel on Wednesday for Void Jumpers and Thursday for Zoe Game Nights. Check out the Zoe Discord server to get the jump on all our cool projects, shows, and events coming up. Check out the Fantasy Network. And of course, next week, tune in for the second part of our 3-part season finale, when who knows what could happen, especially with Reese now thrown into the mix. Thank you all, and good night.
Night.
Goodbye.
Good night.
Yeah, sliding